Hi, I'm Pete Thompson with Pete Thompson Christian Counseling, and today I'd like to talk about communication. The concept of communication is being able to share with another person an idea that might be foreign to them, or it might be an idea that they readily do not agree with. But in communication, what you want to be able to do is share the idea in the best way that they can possibly hear it. And so choosing the timing when you're going to do it and choosing how you share it in a supportive way so that even though initially they might disagree with the idea, the way that you've shared it helps them hear it so they can think about it and contemplate what what you want to change or what you're trying to communicate so they can kind of think about it. One of the things that gets in the way of communication is the concept of emotional scar tissue. Now, emotional scar tissue always gets in the way of communication, and emotional scar tissue is the concept of saying things or doing things out of frustration in the past that make it difficult for people to hear what you're saying presently. And so this is a term that I learned about 30 years ago when I worked in an ER as a trauma social worker. I was talking with a surgeon and he was complaining about having a person as a patient, as an IV drug user, and frustrated that he couldn't start an IV on an IV drug user. And I'm going, I don't get it. They're doing IVs all the time. Why can't you do it? And he goes, oh, you're not a medical person. Let me explain it to you. And what it is, when a person is doing IV drug use, they're injecting themselves with needles. And the problem is you can't use that site later if you want to, for a medical reason, because the skin has scar tissue and it's almost like human Kevlar. You cannot inject in that site. And so that term God gave me, and I used that term, learned about it, and used it about 20 years later when I was looking at how couples communicate that were in my office. And so what I noticed is as someone said something or did something out of frustration in the past, it was a major obstacle for current communication. And how I teach that is the idea that emotional scar tissue, metaphorically, is what we have over our hearts. When somebody has said something out of frustration or done a behavior that hurts us, it gives our heart emotional scar tissue towards them. And with lots of emotional scar tissue, the end up result is people saying, hey, I love this person, but there's been so much pain and so much hurt. I just can't trust that they're not going to hurt me again. And so I have several tools that I teach in my office that deal with the emotional scar tissue that affects healthy communication between partners. And so I would love to teach you guys that, and so that your communication and your relationships can be stronger, because now you can communicate in a way that your spouse can hear. It might not agree with it, but teach you how to communicate so that they won't discount what you're saying, or you're not discounting what they're saying, to have a better relationship. I would love to help you with that. Please give me a call if you have any questions. Pete Thompson Christian Counseling.